3 hacks to remembering everything. Before we continue with the video, don't forget to kindly click the subscribe button below and click the bell icon below to be notified when we upload new material. Have you found yourself forgetful lately? If so, you are in the company of millions of people that suffer from this problem. Memory loss is one of the most common complaints doctors hear on a daily basis. As we age, our memory tends to deplete. Benign forgetfulness happens with normal aging in which a memory stays intact, but the ability to remember becomes temporarily diminished. Concentration, stress, anxiety and depression are other reasons people often have trouble remembering. These problems can disrupt daily undertakings. Can't remember where you parked your car or why you entered a room? How about places and names that were easy to recall just last year? Even though the mind has the capacity to store and recall loads of information, we naturally sometimes wonder if this is the beginning of dementia. What causes us to remember things are our senses that have to store and capture information perfectly in order to retain what we've learned. If our senses do not store and capture information, we tend to lose the ability. Repetition is also very important for retaining our memory. If you suffered from memory loss long enough, try one of 3 solutions to get back in the game. Mnemonics are very effective for remembering list forms of information. You can successfully remember hundreds of pieces of information this way. Mnemonics work by using a phrase to act as prompt words to retain more information, as each word has more meaning within it. For example, if you wanted to remember all 9 planets in our solar system in their order from closest to the sun, use this method. You can simply and quickly come up with a phrase using the first letter of each planet. M for Mars, V for Venus, E for Earth, M for Mercury, J for Jupiter, S for Saturn, U for Uranus, N for Neptune and P for Pluto. My vivacious ego mainly justifies shallow unwarranted nagging pleas. By using this method, it should take you no more than 10 minutes to learn and retain the information. Let's try another example. When learning to spell difficult words, it can be a great gift. The word rhythm. Reggae helps your 2 hips move. You can now apply this memory technique to any difficult information you need to learn and try to turn it into a memorable and relatable phrase that's easy for you specifically. Method of LowC is great for visual learners because it calls for the use of your vivid imagination and spatial memory, which is a different form of memory. Ancient Greeks and Romans often used this method. This method requires you imagining a layout of somewhere akin to you, such as a street or a room. You then designate meaning to each familiar item you pass and whatever it is you wish to learn. As you mentally scan this layout and see these items, they then trigger your memory for what they represent and help you to recall and remember the information. This concept was famously used by Sherlock Holmes. This method is good for people who suffer from memory loss but are creative and artsy with a vivid imagination. Chunking is the process of amassing large constructs of information into smaller pieces and then remembering these small pieces rather than everything at once. This method is great if you have, for example, a long poem to remember. You simply break the poem down into smaller chunks and you remember these individual pieces instead. For example, if you needed to remember the string of letters, the bar is closed for business. You break down this thread into blocks as follow and remember each singular block one at a time rather than all at once. The bar is closed for business. This works because the short-term memory can only hold roughly 5 to 9 pieces of information at once. Trying to learn more than this will see the average human struggle, so breaking it down into more manageable blocks can help a person retain it all without feeling inundated.